All of you, good evening to all of you. This is Jonathan Tinoco and welcome again on this episode. So again, panibagong video na naman and I'm sure marami kayo natutunan doon sa previous episode natin last time. And the good news, today, we've invited another special guest. So before namin introduce yan, I would like to introduce muna, of course, my partner, Fermin Barnechea. Hello, Fermin, you there?
Hi. Hello, everybody. Welcome back
so
to another episode.
All right. Okay, me and Fermin, we're going to host this event and we're going to be sharing with you a lot of things during this session. All right. So again, before we start, I would like to welcome muna yung mga viewers natin who's watching this episode tonight. So again, welcome to all of you. Now, before tayo mag-start, so we just want to make sure na okay yung tools na ginagamit natin, yung audio is okay. So if you can hear me loud and clear, please type 1 in the chat box below. Okay, let me repeat that. If you can hear me loud and clear, please type 1 in the chat box below. All right, thank you, thank you. Okay, and second, okay, taga-saan kayo na nanonood ngayon? Because I'm sure a lot of you guys, of course, not only from Metro Manila, but lahat naman tayo nasa bahay and wala kang choice, kundi lockdown tayo ngayon, di ba? So again, if you're watching right now, please type in the chat box below, taga-saan ba kayo na nanonood ngayon during this session? Okay? All right. Okay. Thank you for sharing that. Okay. Now, okay, are you guys excited to learn? Okay. Are you guys excited to learn during this session? Now, if you're ready, okay, and you're excited to learn during this session, type natin sa baba, please key in, I'm ready. Okay? Kasi syempre gusto natin yung susunod na speaker, yung speaker natin for tonight, ma-excite natin na talagang lahat ng mga viewers natin, they are really interested and committed to learn. Because this is something new for you guys na matututunan nyo tonight. Alright? Now, again, before we begin, siguro some rules lang. Okay. Now, there are things na baka first time nyo lang maririnig during this session. And I'm sure you don't want to miss all of them. Right? So, if you have your journal with you, pakilabas ng journal, sulat tayo mamaya during the session because I'm sure maraming mga topics, maraming mga info, maraming mga lessons yung makukuha natin today. Okay? And don't forget, okay, if you think this is something that can help you, please like this video, share this with your friends, okay, spread natin. Because for those people who's asking what's this topic, what's this episode all about, is we are going to have a live interview with the PDAX CEO. So we'll introduce that later on. But again, if you think this is something that can help you, please share this with your friends and tag 3 of your friends dito sa baba sa comment section natin. Alright? Siguro, without further ado, I would like to introduce muna Fermin because Fermin will introduce you guys yung ating guest speaker for tonight. Okay?
Okay, good evening everyone. Sawang-sawa na kayo sa pagmumukha ko. So, let's get on to the main course. Yung ating special guest, bigatin to. He graduated from the Wharton School with an MBA and he is also a CFA chartered holder. So, nakikita nyo na ang interest niya talaga finance. So, because of that, nagtrabaho siya sa Hong Kong and Shanghai Banking Corporation where he was a vice president in the trust department overseeing corporate trust and investments. After a while, he wanted something different. And so with that, he is now an advocate for greater financial inclusion through blockchain and cryptocurrency. With that as his backdrop, he is the founder and CEO of the Philippine Digital Asset Exchange, or PDAX for short, one of the virtual currency exchanges approved by the Bangko Sentral. So without further ado, let's all welcome Nichel Gaba.
All right.
Hi, thank you very much for the intro. Maraming salamat po sa inyong lahat sa mga nakikinig. Thank you.
All right, okay. So siguro, again, before anything else, no, guys, okay, how many of you here, for those who's watching right now, how many of you here who would like to have a chance to win free Bitcoins and giveaways from PDAX? Okay, can you please type that's me in the chat box below? Okay. All right, thank you. Because wag yung munang imimiss or tapusin nyo itong video na to because at the end of this video, okay, we're going to choose one, siguro, not one, not two, but more than 3 winners of free Bitcoin. So mamaya, So we're gonna share with you the mechanics, but punta tayo ng lesson muna because I'm sure marami naghihintay dito sa episode na ito. Alright? Siguro Fermin, for the first question, I would like you to ask Nichel for the one.
Sure. So Nichel, given yun nga, you had your career in banking, and then you made a slight shift and you decided to go into the blockchain world and cryptocurrency. So please tell our viewers, bakit mo naisipang mag-establish ng PDAX?
So, actually, it's a very long story, pero I'm happy to share it because it was super scary and exciting at the time. Bali nung 2017, I started trading Bitcoins. Dati, I always traded stocks, right? Stocks, currencies. But in 2017 kasi, there was a big mispricing between Bitcoin exchanges globally, right? So, kung nasa Korea ka, pag bumili ka ng Bitcoin doon, yung Bitcoin is 30 or 40% more expensive than sa US.
So, that's true. True.
Yeah, so laki nung mispricing. So, ang ginawa
may arbitrage opportunity.
Arbitrage, that's right. So, yung kami ng friend ko, what we started doing was, we were buying Bitcoins from exchanges at low prices and then selling them at exchanges at, the trade at higher prices. So yung pinakamalaking discrepancy was between the US and Korea. And then, obviously, dito ako napasok and eventually, alam mo, pag pinatrade mo yung isang bagay, you have to learn what it is, right? Like, it's the same with stocks. You have to understand what you're buying. And when I looked at Bitcoin a little bit more and tried to understand blockchain technology, I had this eureka moment. Wow, this is the instrument that can really change financial services today, right? Sometimes when we look at financial services, we just see the bank, the branch, the account officer na kausap natin. Pero sa back end, ang daming processes dyan, right? That can be made much more simpler by using blockchain technology. So that was the insight. And when I looked at the Philippine market, I realized na what we really needed was an order book exchange. At the time, a lot of people were operating quote unquote exchanges, pero they're more like dealers, right? So ang pinaka difference ng dealer and exchange is sa dealer, doon ka magte-trade sa presyo niya. Parang money changer. Merong buy, merong bid, merong offer, may buy price, sell price ng dealer. But in an exchange, open market siya. So that was the insight. Parang at the time, I felt na sa Philippines, we needed to have open market trading so that people can buy Bitcoins at fair prices and also be assured of delivery. Right? Because at the time, around 2017, yung biggest problem talaga is credibility, right? Minsan, bibili ka ng Bitcoin from someone on Facebook na nag-post, pag-deposit mo ng pera, hindi dadating. So, exchanges are there to also clear trades. So, that's how we started PDAX.
All right. Siguro, Nichel, that's a very good point. In fact, I agree with you because in 2017, okay, me personally, siguro to share with you, we have clients basically from Korea, pupunta sila dito ng Philippines because mas cheaper yung Bitcoin. Then, in-arbitrage nila yun, bebenta nila yan sa Korea ng almost 15% to 20%, maximum 40% yung patong. So, ganun sila kumikita. Siguro, follow-up question okay, why PDAX? Because a lot of people are asking, paano ba bumili ng Bitcoin? Paano rin ba mag-sell ng Bitcoin? So, if PDAX could be an option, then why PDAX among these other exchanges that we have?
It's a great question, no? I think a lot of yung exchanges that have been also licensed by the BSP still employ dealer models. What do I mean by that? Meaning, when you buy or sell sa platform, the prices that you're seeing are actually quoted to you by the owner of the exchange or the dealer. Kumbaga, they will always try to buy low and sell high. Pero sa PDAX, yung counterparty mo sa PDAX or yung kabangganong trade mo is also someone in the market. Meaning, if si Pedro gusto niyang magbenta talaga ng Bitcoin, and then si Juan gusto talaga niyang bumili, ipapagbangga natin siya. And if you're familiar with market economics, that usually gives you the best prices for both parties. So I think siguro that's what sets PDAX apart. No? Our priority has always been to make the market efficient.
So does that mean, Nichel, that PDAX operates more parang like a peer-to-peer model? Parang like a Remitano?
Exactly. So peer-to-peer siya. We have actually an equivalent version of that sa traditional market. Si Philippine Stock Exchange, that's also how they do it, right? They match the bids and offers at the most competing prices. Para may best execution. So it's very very similar to what we're doing sa PDAX.
All right. Okay.
At the moment, what are the cryptos that people can buy on PDAX?
Right.
That's a good question, right?
The PDAX right now, you can trade Bitcoin, Bitcoin Cash, XRP, Ether, and Litecoin. Eventually, we're gonna add some more tokens pa, but some of them are pending regulatory approvals. Yeah.
That's a good point. Now, how do you decide, or parang ano yung mga criteria na ginagamit niyo to decide, okay, perhaps this is another crypto na dapat naming idagdag?
Right. Great question. So actually, nung start, hirap na hirap kami to pick, and that's because if you remember nung 2017, 2018, ang daming nag-ICO, and then yung mga kung sino-sino na lang gumagawa ng token na scam pala. So ang pinaka-criteria namin to decide what to list is obviously market capitalization, which is a good parang indicator of how much it is being traded, right, globally. And the insight is if people are already buying and selling these tokens, right, mataas na yung volume, then dito sa Philippines, we need an efficient way or cheap way to buy and sell that particular asset. So that's when we decide to list it.
Now, since PDAX is BSP registered, I'm sure may KYC process yan.
Correct.
So how does your KYC process compare, let's say, is it identical to those of the other virtual currency exchange operators, or is yours simpler, or could you tell us more about that?
I would say very similar, and that's because dati kasi when the rules were not very clear, may mga exchanges would just take one ID and then that's it, right? But now that the BSP has firmly regulated the space, yung talagang may clear na rules, you'll probably see all exchanges ask for the same things. Pare-pareho lang kami ng hinihingi, like name, date of birth, address. Sa amin, we try to keep things as simple as possible, right? Na kumbaga if you're not trading a very large amount, right? We don't need to do a phone call or ask for a tax return. So sa amin, we ask for a primary ID or 2 secondary IDs, and then fill up your bio details, and that's it.
And how long does your KYC process normally take?
So sa amin may different tiers, right? So yung pinaka-basic na tier, you'd be able to sign up and trade agad-agad. Like you can access your account. If you want to upgrade, usually that takes within a few hours, right? Because there's someone on the back who will review your information.
Okay, I do have a follow-up question with that, Nichel. Okay, I appreciate it. In fact, maganda yung mga topics natin. By the way, before I ask this next question, guys, if you have some follow-up questions, anything you would like to learn more, questions that you would like to ask to Nichel, please type that in the chat box below. Then during this session, we're gonna try to answer those questions. But again, please type that in the chat box below if you have some questions that you would like to ask sa ating special guest during this session. All right. So, Nichel, follow-up question lang. How do you ensure yung safety ng, ng funds ng mga users as a platform? What's the security feature of PDAX?
Great question. I think I'm sure, Jonathan, you know na over the past few years, bidang-bida sa headlines pag may na-hack na exchange, right?
True.
But there's a very specific reason why some exchanges get hacked. And that was because nung ginawa yung exchange, yung mindset of ipaghihiwalay yung wallets from the endpoints or basically the platform that's exposed to the web was not there, right? So parang if you attack the platform, you also get access to the keys. But since then, nagbago na rin yung understanding ng exchanges, and I think we're an example of that, right? Like pwede mong i-attack yung exchange. But all of the, or actually almost all of the cryptocurrencies on PDAX are actually stored in offline storages, right? So that's called a cold wallet solution. So that's one very important security measure. I think another thing then sometimes we take for granted is yung power ng two-factor authentication, right? So when sa PDAX, if you withdraw funds or if you withdraw crypto, we would prefer to have you enable 2FA. That way, if your password gets misplaced or nakalimutan mo mag sign out and someone else starts using your account, hindi siya makakapaglabas ng crypto without your device or without your cell phone for the 2FA. So we also have other tools to try to detect unusual activity. Pero honestly, just with 2FA and cold storage, you should see hacking risk be reduced to zero. It'll become very, very unlikely.
All right, okay, thank you. In fact, that was a very good point, no? Because of course, especially yung mga those people who's been in cryptocurrency since siguro 2013, 2015, 2016, 17, you've seen a lot of mga issues, platforms na, di ba, na hack because of, what's happening recently or previously. And that's a very good point for those people na papasok pa lang, na mag-engage pa lang sa cryptocurrency. Because, of course, hindi naman yung ipapasok mo sa exchange or sa crypto, dinampot mo na ng pera, pinaghirapan mo yan. Because it's very important for you to know ano yung magiging security ng funds mo once you put that in an exchange. Alright? So, siguro follow-up question lang, Nichel. I noticed you're wearing a shirt and it says Ripple. By the way, Ripple is one of the cryptocurrencies na meron sa market. Why Ripple? Why is it there? Out of curiosity.
Komportable kasi yung t-shirt nila. So Ripple is one of our partners.
Good.
Yeah, it's one of our partners at PDAX. So obviously, to start this company, malaki yung mga infrastructure requirements to build an exchange. So we have a number of investors. One of them is Ripple. Ripple is very active in the Philippines. We don't see them out there publicly, pero kasi behind the scenes, they're trying to convince remittance companies here in the Philippines to start using XRP. And actually, nangyayari na siya, right? Some remittance companies here sa Philippines right now receive XRP in order to pay OFW families the remittance proceeds. So Ripple is a very strong partner of PDAX.
Oh, that's
okay. Thank you
for sharing. I also noticed that your website mentions BitMEX is also a partner. In what sense is BitMEX a partner?
So great question. So see, BitMEX is was our lead investor when we raised financing. So they were the ones who are part of the group of investors who put up capital to start PDAX. So BitMEX, probably a number of the more advanced traders, yan ang ginagamit.
Yes, we're familiar with that platform. Kaya nga we were interested to find out nung nakita namin sa website ninyo na BitMEX was a partner.
Right. So actually yung owner ng BitMEX, I met him at a time na hindi pa siya hindi pa ganun kalaki yung BitMEX, right? And he was, just a very, very normal guy. But now, I mean, BitMEX is doing more than $3 billion ng volume per
That's
day.
true.
Laki ng kinikita niya.
That's true. In fact, they're one of the biggest exchange when it comes to margin trading exchange. So no questions for them. Talagang they've made it to become the number one. And I believe it's only right now because eventually marami rin maglalabasan ng mga exchange because a lot of people, a lot of companies, developers, nakita nila yung growth, the crypto space. So I'm sure eventually, kumbaga if you're gonna ask me, kumbaga nasa baby stage pa rin ng cryptocurrency, right? But eventually, a lot of people are gonna engage in cryptocurrency. Especially, next question ko, right now, we're facing this, these issues right now. Meron tayong health issues. And that's the reason bakit tayo ngayon nasa bahay lang, naka-lockdown, right? And siguro, it will lead me to our next question. What's your outlook for Bitcoin amidst COVID-19?
So it's a great question. So this outlook is, sabihin ko lang, it's only for Bitcoin. At least itong my personal opinion is just on Bitcoin. Now, when Bitcoin first started, the ones sila Satoshi Nakamoto, who's the creator of Bitcoin, it really started at a time when mga tao hindi na naniniwala sa mga central bank. Why? Kasi central banks can just print so much money na yung pera mo sa bahay becomes meaningless, right? So a lot of yung early adopters ng Bitcoin saw that as their reality. That's why ayaw nilang maging biktima ng hyperinflation, so bumibili sila ng Bitcoin. Now, ano ba yung nangyayari now? Now, there's so much uncertainty in the market, right? If nag-trade ka ng stocks, probably naiyak ka ng konti like last week, right? And everything else that you could own, probably you're suffering right now, right? Baba ng market. And because the governments all around the world are trying to battle COVID, you can expect that with a depressed market environment, they need to expand their monetary base, meaning they need to print more money, right, to fund a lot of these efforts. So, because ang daming perang nakikreate, pero yung pag-produce ng goods and services or yung mga bilihin, hindi naman aakyat yan because sa bahay nga tayo, di ba? Like work from home mga tao, etc. There's a tendency na ang tatamaan yan is inflation, right? Like goods will become more expensive. When that happens, typically it favors assets that are in scarce supply, right? So that's why, in my opinion, gold rallied, right? Even though bumagsak siya sometime back, last week it rallied, right? Umakyat ulit siya. I think the same will happen with Bitcoin, right? Because it's scarce and it's also traded all around the world. You'll see more money come into Bitcoin.
And in fact, the halving is
view,
and the halving is still going to take place.
Yeah, for sure. So supply will feel a crunch, right? As the production of Bitcoin gets slashed in half.
All right. Okay. So I think that was a very, very good topic with Nichel, and really we're learning a lot through this session. Even me, ang dami kong takeaways, ang dami kong session, ang dami kong learning na nakukuha. Before we proceed and we continue that, okay, how many of you here, again, who would like to have a chance to win free Bitcoins, free cryptocurrency, and giveaways? Can you please type that in the chat box below? That's me. Okay, can you please type that in the comment section, chat box below, or comment section below. How many of you would like to receive free cryptocurrencies free giveaways from PDAX. Okay? Because here's, siguro, I'll share with you yung mga keywords or I'll share with you the mechanics. So again, please like and share this video. And most important, okay, please type your takeaways during this session. Ulitin ko ano yung mga naging takeaways ninyo during this session? Because from there, dun kami mamimili, particularly PDAX will choose the winners na makaka-receive ng free Bitcoin. So again, please like this video. Share this with your friends in your timeline, or if you have other communities, please share this. And most important, dun sa baba nitong video, okay, ano yung mga natutunan nyo na? Ano yung pinaka naging takeaways ninyo during this session? Alright? Off question, Nichel, kanina during the session or before time mag-start, Fermin was asking, ilang libo daw yung mga nabili mo ng Bitcoin?
Kulang. Actually, well, ganun naman palagi. Like if umakyat ng Bitcoin, kulang yung nabili. Kapag bagsak ang presyo, nako, overexposed ako. But yeah, I wish I started buying sooner. Right? I really wish.
Don't worry, it's never too late.
That's true. It's never too late. And you know, every indication is that it's here to stay. You know, hindi na yan babagsak ng zero in my personal opinion. So it's never too late to start buying cryptocurrencies or buying Bitcoin now.
I have a question, Nichel. Given your background in banking, what do you think is the perspective ng Philippine banking sector with cryptocurrency?
Mm-hmm.
Are they open to it? Are they afraid of it? Ano yung views mo? Ano yung tingin mo?
Right. So, I think kasi dito sa Philippines, compared to other countries, right? The Philippines, yung banking industry is really dominated by key players. In other countries, it's more competitive, right? Like mas marami kang options. Dito, you have maybe 3 banks controlling most of the industry. So I don't think they're really afraid of cryptocurrencies replacing them. But yung environment na na-create is yung mga mas maliliit na banks, right? They're the ones who are trying to gain an edge. Gusto nila mag-compete with the bigger banks. And so mas marami dun sa mga smaller banks yung very supportive of cryptocurrency initiatives. I mean, I probably can say this online. No, si Union Bank has been one of the more supportive banks when it comes to innovative technologies, and in fact, si Union Bank is also one of our shareholders, PDAX.
All right, thank you for that. Okay, siguro me, I have another question for you, no? Okay, since alam naman natin lahat naman tayo nasa cryptocurrency space, no? Nichel, where do you see Bitcoin or the whole cryptocurrency maybe at the end of 2020? Ano yung tingin mo na possible mangyari at the end of the year?
If you ask me nung start nung year, iniisip ko na aakyat siya ng aakyat siya ng at least $50,000 to $70,000. Pero I can explain why I believe that. By the way, personal view ko lang to.
All right, sure.
It will go there, okay? Pero
Ilalaban ka na namin kay John McAfee.
Siguro, but ang personal view ko kasi is lahat ng traders in cryptocurrency right now, or most of the traders in cryptocurrencies right now, are retail traders, right? Tayo, individuals. Now, when institutions or itong mga mutual fund companies, fund managers, banks start buying cryptocurrencies, you can see yung price niya shoot up. Akit yan. Kasi fixed yung supply hindi gumagalaw yung supply. So pagka magpapasok ng pera itong mga big companies, akit talaga siya. Prices will go up. The only reason why institutions cannot buy Bitcoin right now or cryptocurrencies right now is kasi yung infrastructure to support buying cryptocurrencies is not yet there for them, right? Marami yan. Kailangan nila ng custodian, Kailangan nila ng trustees, etc. Kailangan nila ng prime broker. Lahat yan wala pa eh. Now, I can confidently say na they're all going live, if not this year, oh no, definitely this year, right? You'll start seeing more of these big companies buy cryptocurrencies this year. That would have been my view. Pero with COVID, I think ang daming uncertainty because of COVID. But long term, I still believe na it's gonna go up there.
All right. Now, if you're a trader, okay, let's say there's a lot of traders na kasi right now, especially in the Philippines. If you're a trader or let's say an investor in cryptocurrency, so how can PDAX or how PDAX can help these people when it comes to liquidity? Let's start with siguro or so as general siguro yung cash in and cash out and yung sa volume.
Sure. So when kanina when I mentioned the reasons why we started PDAX, we really wanted to give everyone a seamless trading experience. Sa amin madali, right? Because ako nagte-trade ako ng matagal na ako nagte-trade. And honestly, ang hirap. Sometimes like ka-cash in lang ang hirap. So we try to make things as easy as possible. So to cash in or like to put money into PDAX to buy cryptocurrencies, you can use your online banking app. You can deposit over the counter. We're trying to open as many bank accounts as possible so that process is easier. You can use pawn shops, right? Mwheeler, Cebuana. You can use GCash. You can use Paymaya. We try to make it as simple as possible. To withdraw naman, the same channels or practically the same channels are available. 7-Eleven, you can also use it to cash in. Liquidity, obviously, as probably the more advanced traders who are listening right now, importante ang liquidity. Now, based on our observations sa Philippine market, action tends to be one-sided, right? Lahat buying or lahat selling. Because ganyan yung environment natin, it tends to consume yung liquidity on both sides. Nauubusan ka ng buyer kung marami nagbebenta. Now, to resolve this, actually, we have institutional clients. So these are crypto funds. Most of them are overseas who make sure na pagka nagbebenta sa Philippines na they can buy. Right? So we have market makers on PDAX na naglalagay ng malalaking order to make sure na pag gusto mong bumili or gusto mong magbenta, you'll always have someone to buy or sell from.
So basically, if someone wants to use the platform PDAX, okay, here's another question siguro. Ano yung minimum and maximum price when it comes dun sa cash in and cash out? Let's say I'm a newbie or even if I'm an old trader or an expert already, magkano yung minimum na pwede ko i-cash in or bilhin na Bitcoin and magkano yung maximum?
Great question. Okay, so yung sa mga minimums, I apologize, no? It's gonna be medyo complicated ng konti. Right? Pero I'll explain why it's complicated. To cash in, ang minimum namin is 200 pesos. Okay? 200 pesos. But it doesn't mean na if you want to buy, kunwari, Ether or Litecoin, na 200 pesos yung minimum. And that's because the way wallets work, yung mga cryptocurrency wallets is because merong mga mining fees na na-charge anytime na may transaction between crypto wallets. May specific minimums din. So sa Bitcoin, you can buy up to, so the minimum na you can buy, if I'm not mistaken, is 1,000th of a Bitcoin. So bale 0.0001.
0.001 is the minimum. All right, that's a good point, no? Because I agree, and majority, especially if you're watching this right now, maybe you're already a trader, you're already an investor in cryptocurrency, or isa ka sa nagsisimula. I think the first question that people ask is, paano ko ba i-convert yung Bitcoin ko or yung peso ko to Bitcoin, and vice versa, paano ko i-shift yung Bitcoin ko to peso. And of course, aside from that, yung maximum limitations and yung minimum. Okay? So I think that was a very good takeaways, no? Very powerful lesson that me personally have learned from you. So for me, any question would like to ask to,
Ano yan? Kasi si
Nichel so far?
Jonathan, apektado si Jonathan ng mga maximum ninyo. Tatamaan niya yung limit.
Okay, ikaw yung naglalagay ng malalaking order sa amin.
No. Sige. So again, for those of you who's watching right now, I'm sure marami kayong takeaways, marami kayong lessons. So again, if you want to have a chance to win free Bitcoins, again, please do not forget to like this video, share this video, at the same time, tag 3 of your friends in the chat box below. And don't forget, okay? Kasi doon tayo mamimili, ano yung pinaka naging takeaways ninyo during this session, okay? If you have some things that you've learned during this session, so please type that, key that in the chat box below. All right? So, siguro some follow-up questions na lang, Nichel, no? Okay. Do you think, okay, Bitcoin right now, what's happening right now sa economy natin? Because people, since ang daming bangko sarado, there are only few banks that are operating right now. How can PDAX per se, particularly, and cryptocurrency can help the current or economy natin ngayon when it comes dun sa, let's say, for example, for transferring of money, remittance, basically the whole economic natin locally. Or the whole economy locally, sorry.
Yeah, I think as difficult as yung environment natin is right now, this is also a good opportunity to start learning how cryptocurrencies can make life easier for you. Right now, ang dami nating mga kababayang OFW who needs to send money here, right? And maybe more so now kasi hindi tayo nakakalabas, right? And they probably are also in countries where hirap din sila lumabas ng bahay, right? The best way for money to be sent to the Philippines right now is wherever your relatives are, they can buy cryptocurrencies or even Bitcoin kung nasan man sila. And then ipapadala nila sa inyo to your PDAX account. We convert it to pesos. Hindi ka nalalabas ng bahay and you can receive the funds. Right? And it can happen on the same hour na binili niya yung cryptocurrency doon. So I think it's a good opportunity to start using cryptocurrencies.
All right, thank you, Nichel. Any follow-up questions for me with regards to the one?
Yeah, sure. Ano sa tingin mo, Nichel? How long or what elements need to be in place before you see mass adoption among, let's say, merchants in the Philippines? Kasi syempre right now, nakikita natin, crypto is volatile. So it's a bit difficult. Kunwari, if I was a car dealer na tumanggap ng crypto, if tomorrow the price might be 30% lower. But I do agree with you, and I believe many of the believers of crypto see that this is the view. This is where things are going to go. That eventually there will be mass adoption. So ano sa tingin mo ang kulang pa sa Pilipinas before we can get to that stage of mass adoption?
Siguro, mas magandang internet? Hindi, biro lang. But,
that's true.
Yeah, that's partly true, right? Like, kung walang internet, walang cryptocurrency. But on a more realistic note, actually, I think yung mass adoption ng cryptocurrencies, it won't affect everyone, right? Not every merchant will use cryptocurrency.
True.
Probably the most likely scenario is merchants who need to pay suppliers abroad or who need to receive money from customers abroad. They probably will explore using cryptocurrencies. Now, to your second question, ang hirap nun, like, ako, binili ko yung sasakyan, Bitcoin was, 300,000 pesos. Pero nung babayaran ko na, Bitcoin, 1 million pesos na. I mean, volatility is an issue, right? But a lot of these transactions na rin kasi, happen through tech companies na nasa gitna eh. What am I saying? So parang for example, si Ripple, right? Sa Saudi, merong remittance company. Sa Manila, may remittance company. Si Ripple, ang ginagawa na niya ngayon is rather than making the two parties be exposed sa XRP, sila na yung nagtitake on nun, right? So there's a lot of ways or business models now to make it friendlier to use. So when that happens, you'll see more people using cryptocurrencies. But to your earlier point, like probably, to what I said earlier, probably hindi lahat, right? But pockets of use cases.
Okay.
Okay, thank you for sharing, Nichel. No, again, for those who's watching right now, especially mga bago pa lang na nanonood ngayon, okay, for those people na kakapasok pa lang dito sa live session natin today, so please type in the chat box below taga saan kayo nanonood, because I would like to welcome again all of you guys, yung mga bagong pasok pa lang. And right now, we're with the CEO and founder of Philippine Digital Asset Exchange, PDAX, one of the respected guy in the space. So Nichel Gaba, Mr. Nichel Gaba is with us. So if you have some questions that gusto nyo itanong sa kanya during this session, please type that in the chat box below. Alright? Siguro it was a very, ang ganda nung dangin discussion natin, no? So parang naikutan natin lahat, no? So, and also I think most people, okay, most traders, investors, people who's in blockchain technology, talagang they're looking for ways right now paano natin i-maximize yung time natin despite we have this, this pandemic na lahat tayo kahit nasa bahay, we are maximizing our time. Okay? Siguro, Fermin, anything you'd like to ask to Nichel so far?
Well, I guess I have one last question. Since alam naman natin, investments in crypto, unlike bank products, hindi yan insured, di ba? However, I noticed also na PDAX says that the wallet solution of PDAX is audited and protected by insurance. Pwede bang paliwanag mo yan, Nichel? Because that's a very good point.
Okay, very good question. So clarify ko lang yung insurance does not cover you for fluctuations in price. Okay? So kung binili mo yan ng 1 million and bumaba ng 100,000, that's not covered by the policy.
Correct.
Covered our operational risk on the back end. For example, nagkaroon ng problems processing the cryptocurrency and then may nawalang cryptocurrency. That's covered by the policy. Eventually, we're also so ang hirap mo ng insurance actually for crypto. Much more difficult than getting life insurance or magpa-insure ng sasakyan.
I can imagine because nga volatile, gumagalaw talaga eh.
Right. So hirap na hirap kami to look. In fact, like it took us, maybe 2 years to look for like an insured wallet solution. But anyway, so one thing that we're also trying to get a policy for is to cover hacking risk, right? So if someone attacks the exchange, steals the tokens, we're trying to look for. So actually, no, we found someone. So we're just trying to finalize those terms, and we'll also make it available to the customers, right? So maybe not your entire wallet holdings, pero parang PDIC na up to a certain amount we can cover.
All right. Okay. Thank you. Okay. So I think we have few minutes left na lang. No? We have few minutes remaining for this session. And I'm sure, for those of you guys who's watching right now, I'm sure marami kayo natutunan dito sa episode natin today. Alright? And siguro before we end this session na lang, no? I think you still have some questions for me you'd like to ask to Nichel?
No, I believe let's wait and see what the viewers have in terms of questions for Nichel.
Sure. Okay. So again, if you have questions, concern, or other concerns, Nichel, paano kanila ma-reach out? Do you have communities? Where can they learn from you guys? I mean, from PDAX.
You can reach us. Actually, meron kaming pretty active na Facebook presence. right? So you can message us there. Or you can go to our website, www.pdax.ph, right?
Okay.
And hopefully you can, ano na rin, you can sign up and explore how to trade or buy and sell cryptocurrencies today.
All right. Okay. So siguro we're gonna it's actually here in the description of this video. So punta lang kayo doon sa description of this video. You're gonna see Nichel's group, PDAX community. So if you have some questions, things that you would like to ask as time goes by in the future, so you can reach them out. They're community members. Pwede nyo silang tanungin for other important questions and concerns. Okay?
If I may add pala, Jonathan, we really encourage questions, no? Kasi, syempre, bago to right? And a
True.
lot of people are, are interested naman talaga, but, syempre, mahirap din kasing mag-invest in something na we don't fully understand. So sa PDAX kami, we're always very open to questions, right? Even if it's just to understand ano ba talaga to, right? Don't hesitate to reach out to us.
Okay.
Thank you. In fact, that's why we had this series, because nga, we want to bring to our subscribers opportunities or platforms where they can learn, and where the proponents of the platforms are also open to exchanging and answering questions from the viewers.
Sayang kung walang kung we don't ask actually. So ako rin personally, if I were more open and I asked questions back when bago pa lang ang Bitcoin, maybe I would have already invested then. Pero yeah, we encourage all kinds of questions, so please don't hesitate to reach out.
And if you ask more questions, then the multi-millionaire ka na. Ngayon, millionaire pa lang.
Hindi nga ganun Pero like, yeah, I mean, if we have if may time machine tayo, we can, go back in time and try to have learned earlier.
So kung ganun, magkikita tayo lahat sa 2009.
Oh, that's correct, right?
10 years ago.
Nagmamine tayo nun.
Sige. Nichel, ito na lang siguro, okay? What's your message naman? Okay, siguro final message for those people who's watching right now, especially those who would like to take the first step in engaging cryptocurrency and using the platform. So, ano yung may papaya mo sa mga nanonood tonight?
Actually, I think as sabi nga ni Fermin kanina na ang background ko talaga is finance, right? Like I started with traditional investment products, right? I've traded stocks, bonds, currencies, and maybe like many of you, nahirapan akong invest in cryptocurrencies. Kasi at the time, inisip ko, ano ba to, right? Like, ano yung binibili ko, right? So I think every good opportunity starts with openness, right? So I think my main message to people is, first of all, don't invest in anything that you don't understand. Right?
That's a good point.
It's a bad idea, right? In anything you do, don't invest in anything that you don't understand. So my invitation is for everyone to try to understand what cryptocurrencies are. Because when people say na Bitcoin is the future, cryptocurrencies are the future, there's a very real truth to it. Na maybe if you look at it a little bit more seriously or more closely, you'll find na buying cryptocurrencies is actually fit for your investment portfolio.
All right. Okay, thank you very much for that very super powerful. Grabe, wala nang masabi. Very super na lahat. Right? So, ang dami namin even me, I think even for me, marami kami natutunan from this session. And I'm sure all of you guys is watching right now, marami rin kayo mga naging takeaway. So, again, okay, before siguro kami matapos right now, if you want to have a chance to win free cryptocurrencies, free Bitcoin, and giveaways from PDAX, okay? Step 1, like this video. Step 2, share this video. And most important, step 3 is what's your takeaway? Or what are your takeaways during this session. So please type that in the chat box below because from there, dun kami mamimili ng mga lucky winners. All right. So, Fermin, anything you would like to share before we end?
Nope. I'd like to say thank you first and foremost to Nichel for taking time to share insights with our viewers. Thank you for our viewers for taking time also. Even though tama si Jonathan, lahat naman tayo naka-lockdown. So, you have no option but to listen to us. But thank you again.
Maraming salamat to everyone na nakinig dito sa live stream natin. Thank you so much for tuning in. And thank you for inviting me here, Jonathan and Fermin. It's a genuine pleasure to speak with you and your followers.
Thank you also, Nichel. We appreciate your time for joining us here tonight. And we know talagang marami kayong developments na ginagawa rin ngayon with your company. But again, we really appreciate your time for joining us here in this session. All right. So I think with that, maraming salamat. Thank you for watching to all of you. Again, please check yung nasa description box of this video because if you want to join their community or would like to learn more about this platform, particularly PDAX, so you can check the description box, you can check the link, and you can join their community. So again, thank you very much for watching this episode. So magkita-kita tayo ulit next week for another episode because we have another special guest that I'm sure marami na naman kayo matututunan during the session. So thank you very much. Good evening to all of you and have a great day, everyone.